Have you ever wondered why two people can follow almost the exact same workout program, eat nearly identical meals, sleep for the same number of hours, and yet one person seems to build muscle almost twice as fast as the other? At first, it can feel unfair. One person starts seeing visible changes within a few weeks, while the other trains consistently for months, but barely notices a difference. So what explains the gap? Many people immediately blame genetics. Others assume their workout isn't effective, and some eventually convince themselves that they simply weren't born to build muscle. But the science is much more interesting than that. Muscle growth isn't controlled by one single factor. It's the result of a complex interaction between genetics, muscle fibers, hormones, nutrition, training, recovery, sleep, stress, and countless daily decisions. Today, we're going to break down the science behind why some people build muscle faster than others. And more importantly, what you can actually do to maximize your own potential the moment you're born. Your body already carries a biological blueprint. Your height, bone structure, the length of your limbs, the shape of your joints, the way your muscles attach to your bones, and even aspects of your natural hormone production are influenced by genetics. These differences can have a significant impact on how your body responds to resistance training. Some people naturally have muscle insertions that make their muscles appear fuller. Others may have broader shoulders, smaller joints, or proportions that make added muscle look especially impressive. And some people are simply better responders to resistance training. They're able to gain strength and muscle relatively quickly when they begin training. Others may need considerably more time before seeing the same changes. But here's the important part. Genetics are a starting point. They're not a final destination. Exceptional genetics without discipline rarely produce exceptional results. And average genetics, combined with years of intelligent training, proper nutrition, consistent recovery, and patience, can produce an incredible transformation. You may not control the hand you're dealt, but you absolutely control how you play it. Inside every skeletal muscle are thousands of microscopic muscle fibers. These fibers can generally be divided into two major categories. Slow twitch fibers, also known as type 1, are highly resistant to fatigue and are especially suited for endurance. Then there are fast twitch fibers, known as type 2. These fibers can produce greater force, contract more rapidly, and generally have a greater potential for muscle growth. So, if someone naturally has a higher proportion of fast twitch fibers, they may have an advantage when it comes to strength, power, and muscle development. These fibers can respond particularly well to resistance training. They can become larger, produce more force, and adapt strongly to explosive movements and heavy resistance. This is one reason why certain people seem naturally gifted at sprinting, Olympic weightlifting, jumping, or other explosive sports. Meanwhile, someone with a greater endurance-oriented profile may naturally excel at long-distance activities. But remember, one muscle fiber type isn't simply better than another. Each type represents a different biological strength. Your body was designed for a combination of abilities. The key is understanding how your individual body responds and then training accordingly. Hormones are essentially the body's internal communication system. They influence growth, repair, energy production, metabolism, and recovery. One of the most famous hormones associated with muscle development is testosterone. Testosterone plays an important role in the processes involved in muscle growth. But having slightly higher natural testosterone doesn't automatically guarantee an extraordinary physique. Muscle development depends on a much larger hormonal network. Growth hormone contributes to tissue repair and recovery. IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor 1, works closely with growth hormone and plays a role in muscle development. Insulin helps regulate how nutrients are transported and used by the body. And then there's cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. When stress remains chronically elevated, recovery can become more difficult. This is why your body shouldn't be viewed as a collection of isolated systems. Everything is connected. Sleep affects recovery. Nutrition affects energy. Stress affects recovery. Training creates the stimulus, and your overall health determines how efficiently your body can respond to that stimulus. When these systems work together, your environment becomes much more favorable for muscle growth. Imagine trying to build a house without enough bricks, without enough cement, and without enough steel. No matter how skilled the workers are, the structure cannot be completed properly. Muscle growth works in a similar way. Training provides the stimulus, while nutrition provides the raw materials. Protein supplies amino acids, the building blocks required to repair and build muscle tissue. Carbohydrates help replenish glycogen, providing energy for training and recovery. Healthy fats support normal hormone production, cell function, and overall health. Vitamins and minerals support hundreds of biochemical processes throughout the body. Yet many people believe they simply aren't training hard enough, when the real problem may be that they're not eating enough. This can be particularly important for naturally lean individuals who struggle to maintain a calorie surplus. If your body consistently lacks sufficient energy, building new tissue becomes more difficult. Your body has to prioritize its basic needs. So remember, food isn't simply fuel for your workout. It's part of the raw material your body uses to build itself. One of the biggest misconceptions in fitness is the idea that muscles grow while you're lifting weights. They don't. Training provides the stimulus while adaptation happens afterward. When you perform resistance training, your muscles experience mechanical stress. That stress signals the body to begin repairing and adapting. During recovery, the body increases processes involved in muscle protein synthesis. The damaged tissue is repaired, strengthened, and gradually adapted to handle future demands. This is how you become stronger. This is how you build muscle. And sleep plays a major role in that process. During deep sleep, your body carries out important recovery and repair processes, while your nervous system also gets the opportunity to recover. So, if you're constantly sacrificing sleep or training hard without enough recovery, you're limiting your body's ability to adapt. Recovery isn't time wasted away from the gym. Recovery is part of the training process. Without it, progress eventually slows. You plateau, and in some cases, your performance can even move backward. Train hard, then recover hard. Many people believe that better results require more exercises, longer gym sessions, and constantly searching for the perfect program. But muscle growth doesn't require endless complexity. One of the most important principles is progressive overload. Your body adapts when it is repeatedly challenged to do more than it has done before. That could mean lifting slightly more weight, performing another repetition, improving your technique, increasing your range of motion, or gaining greater control over the movement. The changes may seem small, but over months and years, those small improvements can become enormous. Unfortunately, many beginners constantly change their workouts. They try one program, then another, always searching for the secret routine. But the human body responds remarkably well to consistency. The strongest physiques aren't usually built by constantly chasing novelty. They're built by mastering fundamental movements, performing them with good technique, tracking progress, and gradually becoming stronger over time. The secret isn't always finding a better program. Sometimes, it's simply sticking with a good one, long enough to see what it can do. There's another factor that can quietly destroy motivation: comparison. Every time you open social media, you may see professional athletes, fitness influencers, movie stars, and physiques that appear almost impossible to achieve. But what you don't see is the full story behind those physiques. Every person begins from a different starting point. Different genetics, different body proportions, different hormone profiles, different training histories, different lifestyles, and different levels of experience. Some of the physiques you're comparing yourself to represent years or even decades of training. So comparing your first chapter to someone else's 20th chapter isn't fair. It creates unrealistic expectations and turns progress into frustration. Instead, compare yourself with the person you were yesterday. Did you become slightly stronger? Did your technique improve? Did you eat better? Did you sleep better? Did you stay consistent? Those small victories matter, because your fitness journey isn't a competition against someone else's body. It's a process of improving your own. There are certain things you'll never be able to change. You cannot rewrite your DNA. You cannot redesign your skeleton. You cannot choose your natural muscle insertions. And you can't control every biological advantage another person may have. But you can control what you do with what you've been given. You can train consistently. You can eat enough nutritious food. You can prioritize quality sleep. You can improve your technique. You can manage stress. You can track your progress. And most importantly, you can remain patient when progress feels slow. These habits may look ordinary, but repeated over months and years, they become extraordinary. Because discipline compounds, just like muscle. One good workout may not transform your body. One nutritious meal won't change your physique overnight. One night of great sleep won't suddenly make you stronger. But repeat those decisions again and again and again, and eventually the results become impossible to ignore. Some people will always build muscle faster than others. That's simply part of human biology. But building muscle faster doesn't necessarily mean building a better physique. Extraordinary transformations have been achieved by people with every imaginable genetic background. And many of them didn't succeed because they were genetically perfect. They succeeded because they kept going long after other people stopped. Your body is unique. Your genetics are unique. Your starting point is unique. And your timeline is your own. The goal was never to become someone else. The goal is to become the strongest, healthiest, and most capable version of yourself. One workout, one nutritious meal, one night of quality sleep. One small improvement, repeated consistently, day after day. Because in the end, the people who build the most impressive physiques aren't always the people with the best genetics. They're the people who understand the science, respect the process, stay consistent, and refuse to quit. And perhaps that has always been the real secret behind every incredible transformation.